Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Victoria, where last episode, Hokkaido seceded, and it's not going well for them. That is going to be handled very quickly here. We're running a surplus, so we're able to pay off our debt that we built up. That's absolutely great. We're working on our ports and power plants. This will all be fine. We're going to work on electrification after we've concluded this war against the Ainu uprising. I'm actually kind of surprised that Sakhalin didn't go with him this time, but sure, we'll take it. So we're still working our way through the honorable restoration. We've got some more progress to go on that, but we're close to halfway there. So that's great. We're actually running a deficit now, but we'll see how that ends up playing out here in a moment. They just dropped into default, and we also instantly lost a bunch of deficit there. That's fine for the moment. We're not going to be in default anytime soon. So no major concerns there. And they're going to be ending this war very soon. Actually, they just capitulated. Beautiful. So that's great. We're now running our surplus again. We do need to take a look at what's going on in Hokkaido here. They probably changed some things around, and we need to reset production methods in Hokkaido, almost certainly. Incorporating these states is happening. Hokkaido does not need to be reincorporated. And taking a look at what they've got going on here, 4 government administrations being constructed there. I'm going to cancel those for now. Beyond that, this looks marginally okay. That's a lot of infrastructure that they don't have. 186 of 19. Interesting. Did they delete a bunch of railways? No, there's just no one working in the railways. Okay, we'll see if we're getting employees in the railways. We are not. So we're probably going to have to delete coal mines. I mean, we don't have employees here, right? So I'm going to take this down to size 1. And that'll help. 128 of 19. Okay, so now we need to continue to drop these, right? So we're going to bring the iron mines down to size 1. We're going to bring the whaling stations down to size 1. We just need to solve this particular issue. I'm going to leave the gold mines. We're going to bring logging camps down, much as I hate to do that. We're going to bring those down, and fishing wharves as well. There we go. We definitely want to make sure that our railway is subsidized. Looks like they did delete ports here. Okay, I'm going to queue those up. Those queued up actually at the bottom, and I wanted them queued up at the top. There we go. We'll get those going. That'll be fine for the time being. How are things looking for infrastructure? We need to drop a lot more infrastructure here. So, to that end, I'm going to get rid of these steel mills entirely. I'm going to get rid of these arms industries, these chemical plants, and these motor industries. We're getting rid of every urban building. Then we've got these agriculture buildings, right? But primarily what we need at this point is to get people working in here. So I'm going to drop rice farms here as well, down to size 1. And I'm going to drop the wheat farms as well, down to size 1. Okay, so something like this will be a little bit better. There's a lot of barracks here, no doubt about that. I want to know what our migration here is going to end up looking like. People are migrating out right now. 45 of 37. That is significantly better. Okay, people are getting employed here in the railway. Yeah, that looks solid. So we should be okay on that front for our infrastructure. Beautiful. Standard of living should start to come up there. We may want to consider, for the time being, running emergency relief in Hokkaido. I would like to run it potentially in Sakhalin as well. Yeah, it's grim there. It's real grim, due to infrastructure here as well. Okay, so we're going to have to kill a bunch of these coal mines. In fact, I'm going to get rid of all of them there. What does that put us at? 54 of 57? That's much better. Okay, so we've got minimum expected standard of living issues in a lot of locations. Let's check in on our infrastructure across the board. Across the board, it's fine. Okay, government administration taxation capacities. That's the next thing I'm going to check in on. So 1, this would be 30, 45, 60. So we need 4 here, we need 5 here, and 5 here. Okay. So we'll get those going. That'll be fine. Government administrations, ports, power plants. That's the idea. Do we have any completed power plants at this time? No. Okay. Just wanted to check that. Once we start getting completed power plants, that's when we're going to want to start electrification so that we have some amount of supply, right? Standard of living is an issue. We'll work on bringing that up. A big part of that is taxation at this moment, and I would like to consider dropping taxes soon. We are not really in a position to do that right now, although we could if we dropped our military production methods. I don't like that concept, though. Just going off of wound dressing, though, would be a significant help because we don't have the opium anyway. So I think that's reasonably okay, and then we can drop our taxes to here. We can continue to work on paying off our debt, but that's a long-term thing. With only 27.3k in interest, I'm not too concerned about that. So for now, let's get these government administrations finished. Let's get these ports built and get these power plants underway. That is the current overall goal. Now, we are currently at 13.2 infamy. We're probably going to want to look to do something about that soon. And we definitely will. 118? That's solid. So we can probably consider dropping taxes again soon. Yeah, I think we can definitely consider dropping taxes again soon. 79.5k in subsidies is pretty significant. What is the price on... It's because of the price of coal, isn't it? Probably because of the price of coal. Noted. So we do have additional coal locations that we can build, right? We've got Hokkaido, we've got Sakhalin. We need the infrastructure in these for now. And we need people there. So currently migration of 12.6k and 8.68k. That looks solid. Britain has declared China to be their rival. Okay. That's intriguing. As a hypothetical, if we were to attack Joseon here, what do we actually need to do this? Unavailable plays targeting states. So if we wanted to do this, relations would need to be less than cordial. Between us and China. Gotcha. Because they're a puppet state. Yeah, that would make sense. So we're going to begin damaging relations with China. So we're currently amicable, and we could expel their diplomats. That would give us 10 infamy. We'll see if they start raising relations with us. If they do, we'll expel the diplomats. For now, that'll be fine. So there's all those government administrations finished up. That will help the unrealized taxes. Of course, a huge amount of this is just our tax waste, right? So that's to be expected. Now we're working on ports and power plants. We're 10 weeks away from finishing our first power plant. So that looks solid. I'm okay with continuing to pay down our debt at this rate, but once we drop far enough, we're going to drop our taxes down to medium. Just coming off of very high taxes has raised our standard of living significantly, which is expected. And that would be absolutely great to do. Do we want to change our laws in any meaningful way? We're on landed voting right now. Wealth voting is probably not something that we want to go to at this moment. We could go to no migration controls. That would radicalize the petite bourgeoisie, which would be probably not that big of a deal. We're on agrarianism right now. We could move down to laissez-faire. Or interventionism. Laissez-faire is an interesting route to go. But I kind of want to head towards command economy eventually. We'll see. For now, protectionism is reasonable. We could go to free trade, and that would radicalize the trade unions. Mercantilism, I don't think is necessary to go to. I think protectionism is reasonably okay. Yeah, I think our laws are in an okay state. They're not exactly where I want them to be, but they're fine-ish. So we can drop taxes again, and that's definitely something that we're interested in doing. We drop taxes and standard of living will continue to creep up. That will be very good for our loyalist situation. No doubt about that. And we're going to get these ports built within the next 3 weeks. Our first power plant is coming online now. Beautiful. So with that power plant coming online, we can start thinking about swapping over to things that require power, like electric streetlights. That's going to reduce our demand of coal by a significant amount, which would actually be really solid, and just destroy the demand for electricity. And we're okay with that. So we'll do that for right now. We can go to publicly traded on our power plants. That's okay. Anything in here? Yes. Electric fences. It will be very negative. We are running a shortage of electricity. That's understood. We're going to be working on that directly for a while here. So there's 3 electrification bits. That'll be fine. We want to take this down to siege artillery as well. I had not realized that we didn't move our barracks onto siege artillery. That was not intentional. Okay, so we're running an electricity shortage. We're running a significant deficit because of that. Artillery is expensive right now. For the time being, I think we're going to keep this on shrapnel artillery. Maybe even going back... Actually, trench infantry is better for us than skirmish infantry. Okay, we'll just sit here for the time being. We'll remember that we need to change this over, and we'll get some arms industries going fairly soon. But we have to get this electricity situation under control, right? That is a very, very, very high priority here. However, coal is not going to be expensive anymore, and hopefully that'll help out our subsidies a bit. We can go through our railways and check to see what railways are currently subsidized. So we can hop over here, or actually, this is not the way that I want to do that, I think. We want to go in here and check to see what all is subsidized here. Okay. So basically all of them are subsidized. I'm going to unsubsidize all of them for now. This will likely create market access issues. And we can see here in Hokkaido, this needs to be subsidized. And we're definitely going to be doing this in the locations where we have market access issues. I just want to make sure that we're only doing this in the locations where it's necessary. That's the reason for doing this. So down we go to the railway, and in Western Australia as well. Okay, sounds good. We'll subsidize that as well. Anything else? Those should start to recover. This is the same 3, and they are indeed recovering. So we'll just keep an eye on that, and we'll subsidize the railways where it's necessary. But where it isn't necessary, we shouldn't have them subsidized. So this will be absolutely fine. Sitting at 86. It's probably going to take time to rehire the employees. That's understandable. Okay. So we'll keep an eye on this situation. For now, it's okay. These power plants in Kansai are going to be worked on for a while here. No doubt about that. We could consider dropping taxes again if we wanted to. It may end up being a thing that we want to do, but I do want to remove the glass consumption tax right now. We could continue to remove these consumption taxes, and that does, of course, mean that we can also put in emergency relief up in Sakhalin. Okay, low standards of living in a number of locations. Hardwood shortages, okay. That's not hugely shocking, I suppose. I want to get these logging camps rebuilt in Hokkaido now that we have at least some infrastructure here. 49 of 54. So each of these are going to consume 1 infrastructure usage. Okay, that should be not quite fine. Yeah, not quite fine. Especially with the coal mines and the iron mines being auto-expanded here. But we are getting people employed in the port eventually, and hopefully also in the railway. No change here at this moment. That's noted. We might have just not gotten the people moved in that month, right? 12.4K. Pop growth of minus 1.53. Even with 12.4K migrating in? Yikes. Well, it's definitely worthwhile for us to be working on emergency relief over here then. That standard of living needs to be brought on up. Bolt-action rifles are done for arms industries, and we can definitely swap that over. That will be a worthwhile thing to do. So, yep, that looks solid. Bolt-action rifles are now done there. We can continue to drop consumption taxes, which I'm interested in doing. So we'll drop another consumption tax. There's a stable supply of power. We are going to grab steam turbine progress. Cool. We're still running an electricity shortage, and we've still got market access in Sakhalin and Hokkaido. That's a big part of the reason why this is happening, is the market access here, right? So these logging camps are now done. I don't actually want to have these coal mines here. Unfortunately, we can't stop the private constructions. So what we really need to do here, I think, is get rid of these wheat farms. That'll be a big help there. It won't completely solve the problem. Let's get rid of this rice farm as well. This is 1 infrastructure usage each. Okay, noted. So that's fine. We can get rid of this fishing wharf. We can get rid of this whaling station. They aren't doing anything at this moment. And we can't get rid of these mines for the moment, which is very sad. But that's fine. That puts us at 55 of 54. It's better. We could also temporarily run road maintenance. It's probably not going to generate very much, but even if it just gives us 1 infrastructure there, that would be helpful. So for now, that's okay. That gives us market access there. Now in Sakhalin, market access is low as well. And this is, well, we can definitely get rid of this fishing wharf. That will help. These whaling stations we can get rid of. I want to keep around these oil rigs, to be honest. The livestock ranches can be gotten rid of. And beyond that, we just need people employed here, right? So let's see what that ends up doing for market access. Yeah, 41 of 51. So that should solve the market access there. We do have a hardwood shortage, and we would like to do something about that. I think the hardwood shortage is only because of the electricity shortage, though. Yeah, we can see that's gone away now. And so as we finish up these power plants, the hardwood shortage should broadly go away. That's just due to the electricity shortage. I'm 99% sure of that. So that'll be fine for now. We've got all these power plants building up in Kansai, and we're going to be done with them reasonably soon. How are we doing with our China relations? Okay, this is looking solid. We're dropping these relations right on down. So our infamy is currently 2.7. We want to declare very, very, very soon. No doubt about that. So we're finishing our power plants in Kansai. Vulcanization has been unlocked. Cool. So that gives us some 3 production methods, elastics and bicycle messengers. Okay, so we would go into textile mills and do elastics, but we don't have a source of rubber. In here, bicycle messengers, again, we don't have a source of rubber. So we probably don't want to do that just yet. What was this in the naval base? Torpedo boats? Do it. So that's going to give us potentially some munitions shortages. We'll keep an eye on that status. For the time being, it looks relatively okay. Relatively okay. We're running a very, very small surplus right now. We don't care too much as long as we're running a surplus. So that's reasonably fine. Our power plants are definitely finishing up over time, and we're ramping up production there. Over here in Kansai, I want to know, how are we doing on employing these power plants? Oh, absolutely no problem. Fantastic. So we're definitely putting some unemployed people to work, but what we really need right now is for them to do some migration. Now, we do have migration controls at this moment, and going to no migration controls is probably okay. The petite bourgeoisie are going to be radicalized by this. But I want to get no migration controls here. We want to have more people moving around, right? I want to check in here. 65 of 57? It's because they keep building these. Stop it. Stop it. We can't have those there. Okay. Problem solved there. Fantastic. So we're just going to continue to build these power plants for the time being. We do see some arms industries and munitions plants coming in. So we're going to be very interested in dropping down to siege artillery. Ultimately, we would like to be on bicycle messengers, but without a source of rubber, that's going to be tough for us. We'll have to capture a source of rubber first. So that'll be fine for right now. Sugar shortage. That's interesting. So we would need rice farms for that. Do we have anything else that produces sugar other than rice farms? I don't think so. So rice farms can only be built right now in Hokkaido. Awkward. We have no arable land in Australia? I mean, I guess that makes sense. Well, we can't build rice there. We can build livestock ranches and wheat farms. Okay, noted. So in that case, we do absolutely want to build rice farms in Hokkaido. And we kind of want to max these out in Hokkaido. In Kansai, we're at 101 of 101. I'm wondering, are we pulling people out of those rice farms in order to work in the power plants right now? The answer is no. Okay. Interesting. So we're on fig orchards right now. Sugar is kind of a byproduct at this moment. Yeah. So with sugar being a byproduct of the rice farms, do we have anything else that produces sugar? Produced in rye farms, wheat farms, rice farms, maize farms, millet farms, and sugar plantations. So we've got sugar plantations in... we have no one working in our sugar plantations in Victoria. Or Queensland. Gotcha. So once again, this is a situation where we just need to get people into the jobs. Okay, sounds fine. Hopefully, passing no migration controls will end up doing that. That's the idea there, anyway. So we're currently at Cordial 40 with China. We're continuing to work on reducing this. So we definitely want to get these relations down and go attack China. That is our current goal at this moment. What's the radicalism of this? 112 per month. Okay. Yikes. That's quite a lot, but it's fine for the moment. Our standard of living is above the minimum expected broadly. So for the moment, that's okay. We're going to continue to work on our power plants. Those are going to be done very soon here, actually. And then we're going to be working on barracks again. We might not want to actually work on barracks at this time. Perhaps not. We'll see. There was a war between Russia and the British Republic. That's interesting. That's the North German Federation there. Okay. I was like, hang on, did Britain take this territory? No. No, they did not. So that's absolutely fine. No problem whatsoever for right now. We're still working on paying off that debt, but it's a back burner sort of issue. We're not particularly interested in it right now. What we need more than anything is just people working jobs. So that would be good. One thing that we could consider doing is going down to like women's suffrage or women in the workplace, but literally no one supports it. We've also not invented feminism, so that's not really a viable option at this moment. Let's get these power plants done. We are working on barracks in the background. The question is, are we okay with working on barracks in the background? I think the answer to that is yes, broadly. It shouldn't be too bad if we can't employ people to work there, in theory. In theory. We are running a small deficit, but let's get these power plants completed for now. And each barracks is going to have a small upkeep cost. But let's at least finish up our power plants, and let's see what happens with migration controls. We got an advance. Actually, that's maybe not a bad thing here. We can just bypass. Do it. We're going to pass directly into consideration here. Wonderful. Okay, so that's all looking reasonably good. Standard of living is a problem, no doubt about it. And we'd like to bring that up, but for the time being, it's a little bit complicated to do. I want to check up over here. Do we have any rich people yet? They're actually, yeah, we do. They're still starving, but they are moving that up. It's weird that our upper class is starving in Sakhalin. That's very strange. But whatever. So pop growth here is plus 1.26k. It is currently buoyed by migration. In Hokkaido, pop growth is actually negative. So mortality is rough over here. No doubt about that. Absolutely no doubt about that. Infrastructure needs to continue to come up. We're running road maintenance right now. Emergency relief is, of course, still, I think, a useful thing here because we want to bring up the standard of living a little bit. So that's all, I think, reasonably fine for the moment. We're going to be finishing up our power plant construction here in 14 weeks. We're still running that sugar shortage, but that's reasonably expected. We have a lot of unemployed people. And they're like all here. We need to get them moved. Yeah, they're all in like these 3 states. There's a few down over this way, but we need to get them to migrate to other states where there are jobs available. So to that end, I think passing no migration controls is absolutely the way to go here. We're going to make no attempt to control movement. We definitely want people to spread out. We're very, very concentrated in Kansai, and I would like to solve that for right now. We're 9 weeks away on these power plants. And we're still building all of these barracks. We're done in Victoria, we're building in Queensland. These are not going to be fully occupied anytime soon. These are all in Australia. And yeah, all of those are in Australia. So that's okay. I'm not too concerned about that. They're not going to have jobs finished anytime soon. So that seems reasonably okay. It is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're attacking China and Korea. There's no doubt about that. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings. And a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Andy Magar, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12 UK, Kentogan, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video. And as always, I will see you all next time.